Alright, so what's good with y'all? It's your boy Mike Beats here, and I hope everyone is doing amazing today. So Travis Scott has dropped his newest album, JACKBOYS 2, that we have been waiting for a few years now, and the album is fire, bro. I'm keeping it like 100. There's a few songs that are kind of meh, but most of the songs in the album, they are fire, I'm being honest. And today I'm gonna break down a beat in a style of Kick Out, Dumbo. Like those two songs, those are the main inspiration for this beat. And yeah man, go follow me on IG at MikeBeats_. Y'all gonna see all my posts there, and also yeah, I ain't got none much else. Without further ado, let's just get into this beat. So yeah, first of all, we are at 144 BPM, and the first thing that I started off with was this Prophet 5 beat. I got the demo right now, but that doesn't really matter. I can't remember which preset I had. I can't remember which presets I had, but I have the audio files right here, so it's alright. I basically drew this simple MIDI pattern. Started off simple. We are in the key of C minor, and basically I just laid down this simple chord, so this C, G, and the C again. So this simple chord, then I had little bass notes down here at the bottom, and then I changed it up at the second 2 bars. Just some light to start off with, but you don't want to overdo it. If your main melody sucks ass, you can't just move on and fix it with other sound. First main melody gotta sound fire. So yeah, that's the pattern. I showed y'all the MIDI. I bounced the MIDI to an audio file. After that I tweaked it. So first of all, I put it through mixer. I put all these effects. Y'all just heard the original audio clip. I reversed the audio clip. I pitched it up like 1000 cents. Pitched it up 1400 cents again. And it sounds like this right now. And you know, when I had that, I basically just had it like this in the audio clip. I wanted to like kind of chop it up, so I chopped it down to few different parts and I moved them over, and then I just came out with this, you know. So yeah, this is the MIDI, this is the audio clip. But now on the mixer I have Parametric EQ2. I cut out the lows right here. Then I go to half time. The only thing that I changed up was this effects knob. Right now it says off, but what I did is I took it all the way to the left, and here it says 500 milliseconds. So what that does is it creates this kind of fading effect at the end of one bar. That's a cool little trick that I like to use a lot in my beats. After that I added this gross beat. Now here I have this custom preset, so this little volume automation. After that I had this time automation. Then I have Hyper Chorus, a cool stock chorus plugin inside FL Studio. I have been using Space Blender a lot recently. Default preset, these are the settings. But yeah, that's the first sound, you know, not crazy with that first sound. Then we are moving on to the next sound. So this is the second sound. The pattern is just the same with the second sound. The only thing that I changed up on the other pattern, it was I took all these low notes off. So these that I had in the first one, I took out in the second one. So this is what I have left. So that's the MIDI. I just bounced out the MIDI to an audio file again. I didn't even reverse it or none, so this is what it sounds like. You know, that's the second sound. On the effects I had just gross beat, this slow triplet effect. It's almost the basic slow triplet effect, but I changed it up a bit at the end, as you can see. So I did this, whatever this stuff is there. Alright, so that's the thing that I did with the gross beat. Then I just added for the Parametric EQ2. I took out some frequencies that I didn't really need. So when I was done with Prophet, I moved on to Analog Lab, and on Analog Lab I had this little. So yeah, the Analog Lab preset is this Facade, if that's how you say. I had this Analog Lab preset from Prod Keon's Multi-Keys 2 bank. It's a really fire bank. What I did with that sound is I basically drew these high notes. and you know, that's the MIDI. I bounced it out. So yeah, I bounced it out to an audio file. I didn't even reverse it. I just put it on stretch mode and right here declicking mode and generic bleeding. I always do that too. I go into an audio file like that. I go into this declicking mode and I press generic, and what that does is it creates these little points between the audio clips that it doesn't like click or have that little sound. With this first analog lab, I put Space Blender right here. Again, the default preset. These are the settings, and then through the parametric EQ to almost the same EQ as this Prophet number 2. But yeah, almost the same EQ. So cutting out the lows. So this is just the final audio clip for y'all. Then the last analog lab, I have this Synth Champion. And this is the MIDI pattern for it. So this right here, I just made this little arpeggiated pattern and it changes up every 2 bars, so it has a little variation in it. That I bounced out to an audio file too, stretch mode, generic bleeding mode. I just put it through mixer and I put parametric EQ too. So yeah, this little EQ right here, and after that I just put halftime, and that's the basic halftime preset. The default halftime preset is there. Halftime usually comes in handy when I'm making these beats. And in gross beat too, I would have like halftime. You have halftime when you go to gross beat. So this is the full audio clip. At that point I was done with the melody, but as you can see I have one melody right here and I added that. These are contact strings and those I added after the drums, but I'm gonna just break it down for y'all now. This contact 7 right here, and I had these strings of winner here as you can see. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole same chord progression and melody as in the first one. So we have this right here. I just really copied this first Prophet melody and I changed it up a little bit in the string pattern. Let me just play this for y'all now. And yeah, that's the, that's the string preset. It actually was a strings high winter tremolo. And yeah, on the contact I just had RC20 vinyl 1 preset. I took up the noise knob, the wobble, I messed with the knobs just a bit. Then I just had distortion, space and magnetic, and then this little EQ cut right here, cut out the lows and boost this tone knob. So yeah, right now we have broken down the whole melody. There's only 5 sounds and the patterns are not that complicated or like that interesting, but all the sounds add up together and they just sound cool together. I'm gonna just play a bit of the melody and after that we are moving on to the drums. So yeah, let's get it. Let's move on to the drums. First I have this 808, you know what I'm saying? This really basic spins 808, everyone knows that. The pattern goes like this. And yet don't mind the noise, it's just coming from the contact RC20. So that's the 808. I beefed up the 808 quite a bit, so I put this through the parametric EQ too. So these frequencies at like this 100 Hz range, I took them out, and then all the frequencies like at this range right here, I took them all down. On the 808 sample, what I did was I have for some reason panned it. So yeah, I took this out knob right here and I like, the 808 was originally like this. So this long sustained 808, but I had this out knob and I took it up to like 40% right here. See at the top left, I had this kick, this dunk kick, this one from a Lex Luger kit. what I did was I took up the out knob again to 43%, and then I didn't touch any of these. Then I went to here, pressed this little envelope knob, and here you have this envelope and you have this keyboard right here. So the kick is normally at C5. I mean, most of the time some samples might be already at E4. I pitched the kick down 2 notes so it hits, you know, a little bit harder, and this is the kick pattern. Yeah, that's the kick pattern. That's on the mixer. On the mixer, the kick is 100% merged. Then I went to the hi-hats. Hi-hat is from this one unreleased kit. I combined like 3 hi-hats for this, and then I boosted the high end, put OTT and fresher and all kinds of stuff. I just made this like first 4 bars and then I copied it over. Didn't really change it up at the end at all. Very simple. Then after the hi-hats I had 2 snares. Now these 2 snares, they go both together very well. So this first Ronaholic snare 28, and I shortened it quite a bit actually. I took it down. So yeah, this is a trick that I do all of the time, as y'all just saw with the kick. Then I pressed this D sharp 5 so it hits a little bit harder. Then I have this another Memphis snare, and so right now if I play them together, after the snares I added this open hi-hat, this hat open 4. This one right there, and I had this simple pattern. In the JACKBOYS 2 album, So Fake, I had this song MM3, and in the song there was this like consistent open hat pattern, and I really liked that when I was listening to it. And I did something similar with this beat. I went to the envelope, and right here I did this. So again, delay down, attack down, hold all the way up, then decay all the way down, and sustain. And then the release, I put the release up to like 16-17%. Then I added a snare roll at the end of the 8 bars, this snare right here. Sounds cool. And then the last drum sound, I have the Perk Bankroll Fresh open hat, this one right here, and that's there just to add more bounce. I also wanted to add more high-end sounds to the beat, so I just added another open hat. That's all of the drums. Really fire drums. Last things in this beat is this drum break. So this one in the intro, it plays 3 times in a beat. So that's the drum break. This is a drum break that I just found from a random drum break kit. So this is the one I found. Originally it was like this. It was like that, and I just took down the pitch, I put it through a mixer, I added Fruity Reverb 2, these are the settings right here, and then I added 3 EQs. First EQ, this is a pretty strange looking. Right here I'm taking out some of the lows, then I'm taking out frequencies at this 294 Hz, and then I'm taking out some frequencies. Then the second EQ, here I'm just boosting up the lows to give the kick some more punch, and taking out some frequencies as well. And then the third EQ, cleaning up the sound. And then the last thing in this beat is this major bass from Mike Beats Drum Kit Volume 2. And the pattern is just a simple 2 notes. That's how you make beats for Travis Scott's JACKBOYS 2. Thanks for watching, y'all. I really hope y'all learned something new. I hope y'all learned how to make these dark synth kind of melodies. I hope y'all learned how to use drums to the max. Go follow me on IG at MikeBeats_. I'm trying to get to 1000 followers at the end of this year. All my links are down below. See y'all in the next video. Peace.